What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a little bike maintenance on my 2009 Suzuki V-strom 650. What we're going to be doing today is replacing the clutch cable, and we'll get into it right after this. Alright, so we'll start with the tools you're going to need. You're going to need an 8mm socket with a small extension. You're going to need a 10mm wrench, a 12mm wrench, and a flat blade screwdriver, and that's it. All right, then what you got to do first, just to get started, is you got 8mm bolts. You got to take this side cover off. You got one down there at the bottom, one right there, and one underneath here at the bottom. So we'll get taking that cover off. All right, once you got your cover out of the way, like I said, just 3 8mm bolts, pretty simple. You'll get access to this adjustment here. You're going to have to back these two nuts off so you get some free play there. And your cable goes into this little holder here. It's actually got a little metal tab that's bent up that keeps that in place. I'll show you that when I get a little better angle on there. I'll show you exactly how that comes out. Then up top, you're gonna have this adjuster here, of course. Just pull this little rubber boot off, and you wanna adjust that all the way in to get all that slack completely out of there. And you got a little slot. I'll try to flip that back around here and let you see it. See that little groove right there? Line those two grooves up. You got a groove in your clutch perch right there. All right, and once you got your grooves lined up, just pull that cable right out of there. Simple as that. And you drop that little barrel out from the bottom right here. Kind of greasy and hard to do with one hand, but I think I'll get the point. And you just drop it out just like that. There it goes. And then that'll come up, and we'll show you that part now. I'll get this part adjusted off of there. Well, took out of there, my bad. All right, I didn't get a real good shot at this because it was kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. But if you can see down in there, I'll let the camera focus. There's a little bitty metal tab. You can see that. That's been up against the flat part of this barrel here, just like that. It's been up against there, so that holds that wedge up in there tight, so that cable ain't got no play in it. But you got to bend that thing down to be able to get that cable to drop and come out of there. Like I said, I didn't film that. Sorry for that. It's just kind of hard to get that angle while I've got both of my hands in there. But it, just to be forewarned, it's a pain in the ass. Just to let you know. But once you get your new cable back in there, you just bend that tab back up, and that just keeps that play out of that cable is all it does. Kind of a pain in the ass, I'll be honest, but it can be done. Just get you a thin screwdriver and just keep prying at it, you'll get it bent. Now we'll pull the cable out and better route the new one back in. Let's see how that goes. All right, I just found out something else. You see them, all them cables piled up in that little bracket right there? You got to take that 8mm bolt loose, drop that thing down so that cable gets enough slack to be able to pull all that stuff through there. So keep that in mind as well. And I got the old clutch cable out, but it just routes right over the top of this, right up through there, and then that bracket I showed you earlier. So just pay attention to how it's routed. It's pretty simple though. You really can't go wrong with it. Just to let y'all know too, the reason I'm doing this, the cable is out of adjustment. It's got all the adjustment took out here and up top, and the clutch was still needing it's got too much free play in it. So I needed to replace the cable because it has stretched some. Plus, I don't know when the last time it's been replaced. So I wanted to do the maintenance on it so the cable wouldn't break on me out in the middle of nowhere, because I got some big trips planned for 2023. So just doing preventative maintenance just to, you know, keep it up to speed. And plus, there's not a video on YouTube showing how to do a clutch cable replacement. I know it seems simple, but this bike is a little bit different than any other bike. So, and this is for your first gen stuff, your first gen 650. So I just want to put it out there so maybe it'll help somebody else. So let's get this new cable in there and see what we can do with it. Maybe I won't cuss too much trying to get this back in here. Probably gonna be kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest, because it got to go in that little bracket up there, that little holder I showed y'all. It might be kind of a pain in the ass. Told y'all many times before, I'm not a professional. I just play one on YouTube. I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's the only way you learn anything though. I'm winging it. All right, I'll tell you this. Pulling it out from the bottom, pulling the old cable out this way is the easiest way to pull it out. Feeding the new cable in, definitely go from the top. It'll run right back there, so there you go. All right, now that your new cable's in, just take these nuts right here. Just take that nut all the way off. Be careful, because now there's nothing holding it. It can come all the way out of there. Just drop this right down into that hole right there. Just like that. And you can put your nut back on the back side. Just like that. Now that part's in. I'll probably leave it really loose, because up here, like I said, you're gonna have to keep that slot lined up. Put your cable in back in there, because you want all that slack as you can in there. Just put that back in there at the bottom of your lever, feed it through there, and that part's good. Hey, don't be a dumbass like me. One thing to remember, take your old boot off that goes over this, off your old cable, put it onto your new one, then put it back in there. Now let's do it again. All right, now with this part, all you gotta do is drop it back down in there. If that's a cone shaped little piece, pull it up there tight, bend your tab back in place, and that part's done. Now, I can't really give you any pointers on how to bend that thing back up there right. I'm gonna finagle with it until I get it bent up there, and then I'll tell you how it went, because I really don't know how it's gonna go, because it's kind of a pain in the ass. Like I said, it's kind of hard to reach there, so just do the best you can with it, but make sure you get it bent all the way back. Okay, I've cut the camera off to edit out all the heavy cuss words because my wife will kill me. This is kind of a pain in the ass, but I did it wrong the first time. You see that I took this back out? All right, I had it up here first. All right, don't do that. Leave that part out. So you got all your slack down here. Once you get this cable into this part, pull it up tight with your fingers. Take your trusty needle nose pliers, just reach right in there like that, and pinch that thing back closed, that little metal tab on the bottom, while you're holding that wire up tight with your fingers. And that'll take all that play out of there and get that bent back up where it is. And now you should be able to drop all that back into place. So, like I said, I had to stop the camera because that was kind of a pain to busting my finger open. Got to edit out the cuss words, because my wife will kill me if I said all them heavy cuss words on camera. So let's get back to the project. All right, I got the new cable adjusted right here about as much as the old cable was. As you can see, there's not much adjustment left right there. But I figured that'd be okay because you got to take this side cover off to get any adjustment on this. So I really don't have to want to mess with that all the time. So I just adjusted that there like that. And up here, the barrel's out pretty far, but it ain't quite as far as it used to be. And my clutch is much tighter. Now, as far as on your cable slack free play on your clutch lever, I don't know the exact adjustment for that. I just use mine by eye. This is the way I used to feel on my dirt bikes. I probably got, I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5 millimeters right there at this part of the lever. And that's just how I eyeball mine. You can look up the exact specs. I think there's some way you can measure it here. But I just sort of go by feel. And obviously the cable is going to stretch a little bit as it wears in. So I think it's going to help a little bit. And like I said, give me peace of mind that it's not going to break on me. All right, well, there you go. That's how to replace a clutch cable on a 2009 Suzuki V-strom 650. I know this wasn't the most compelling or exciting footage, but hey, bike maintenance has got to be done. Might as well do it yourself, save you a little money. So I hope this video helped you out a little bit. Plus, we got big trips planned for 2023. We don't want something as simple as a broken clutch cable to ruin a big trip for us. So as always, we appreciate y'all watching. If you hadn't yet, hammer the shit out of that subscribe button and that notification bell so you'll be alerted when new content comes out. And we'll see y'all in the next one. Thank y'all for watching. Oh yeah, motors or nothing. Hell yeah.